All right, good afternoon, ladies. Um, so the purpose of second. All right, so this will be our PD on empowering educators through data-driven instruction. Will be a comprehensive approach to enhancing student outcomes and instructional decision making. Right, if you will, introduce yourselves and your roles.
I am Jasmine Hardy. I'm a special education facilitator.
Brandy Jackson, speech therapist.
Vincent Peck, school psychometrist. So here's our table of contents of what we will be discussing today. Our session goal is to enhance student outcomes. And for our icebreaker activity, we're going to build a data-driven mindset. And through that, so I have a couple of student work samples, not student work samples, but I have a couple of assessments. One is a formative assessment, and one will be a summative assessment. We're going to go through some materials and decide if what has been given to you is a form of formative assessment or summative assessment. For our group activity, time permitting, we will analyze and mock data trends. We'll also discuss steps for implementing data-driven instruction. We'll do an example of data interpretation. Follow-up activity will be create a data action plan. And then at the end, there will be evaluation and feedback. You guys will rate the professional development, discuss what worked, what didn't work, what you like, what you didn't like, as well as areas for improvement. We'll also have a Q&A session for continuous learning and improvement, and then discuss the teacher's role and data analysis. So when we're talking about enhancing student outcomes, we have to be set define and clear objectives for student learning outcomes. Then we have to implement the data-driven strategies to monitor the student's progress. All this is concurrent, it's ongoing, so it'll happen throughout the year. We'll analyze data trends to identify areas for instructional improvement, and then adjust the teaching methods based on data insights to enhance student achievement. So that living, breathing document that we all deal with throughout the course of the school year, the ASIP, was the school improvement plan. That's pretty much what this is. Right, so each group will be divided with a case study that includes a variety of data sources, formative, summative, work samples, and standardized scores related to fictional classes or students. The task will be for each group to analyze the data to identify patterns of strengths and areas of improvement. Keeping in mind, these are things that you should consider. What does each type of data tell you about student learning and progress? How can you use this data to inform your instructional planning? And then the next step would be the action plan for development. Based on your analysis, your groups will develop a brief action plan outlining specific instructional strategies and interventions that you would like to implement. And then you will share out your analysis and action plans with the entire cohort. So with this data mindset, you're going to engage in data sharing, which will include participants sharing data with others, build repository of shared data, and promote transparency and openness. As far as exploring the various data sources, you're going to identify different data sources. You're going to analyze the data, the quality of the data, not the quantity, but the quality. And then you're going to utilize diverse data sets for comprehensive analysis. Fostering a collaborative mindset. Encourage teamwork and data analysis, share insights and findings, build a community of data enthusiasts. Is this easy? No. It does take some work and some careful planning as well. But once you take all those things into consideration, we can get the children where we want them to be. Here's the importance of data-driven instruction. It provides targeted instruction to address those deficits that our kids may be having, improve student achievement, and inform decision-making. So you're not just going around just picking standards and saying, hey, I'm going to target this. No, you're going to use the data to drive those instructional strategies, which are going to be targeted to moving the kids where we need them to be. So when we're considering implementing data-driven instruction, here are things that we want to look at and consider. How we collect the data. We want to gather relevant information from various sources. I know all throughout the school year, we have different ways of collecting data, whether it be through iReady diagnostics for reading and math, whether it's for class works, the teacher-made test, not necessarily test, but just whatever they're doing in the classroom, and they're doing repeated assessments at reasonable intervals. Data analysis. We want to analyze the collected data to identify patterns and trends. So we're going to look at it and see this student's having a problem with phonemic awareness, or this student's having a problem with reading comprehension. Not just comprehension, there are a couple of different comprehensions to look at. There's informational text, and then there's then there's literature. Instructional planning. Now, we take the data, we look at the trends, now we can begin planning. This planning involves developing strategies based on data insights for effective teaching. Once we have the instructional planning, then we can implement it. Put the data-driven strategies into practice in the classroom setting. Once that has been done, then it's time to monitor and reflect. This is also an ongoing process. We continuously assess the impact of data-driven instruction and adjust as needed. So it's not a one-time deal, because what may have worked for this student may not have worked for the next student, and vice versa. So you're constantly tinkering to find that perfect fit. All right, these are the different examples of data interpretation for enhancing instructional decisions. Here are the data visualization tools, the interpretation techniques, and then the instructional strategies integration. So at the end of all of this, should be a follow-up activity in which a data action plan is created. Start with clear objectives for the action plan. What is it you're trying to do? Identify the key data sources for the plan implementation. What data are you using? Then you're going to establish measurable goals and timelines for each action. So we want to move our 7th grade students, ELA students. We don't want to move them from whatever indicator we started out with the school year. And it has to be something that's actually doable and not just an arbitrary number. Assign responsibilities to team members for plan execution. And then you're going to monitor progress regularly and adjust strategies as needed. I'm going to stop sharing this particular screen for just a second. And then I'm actually going to share with you the course evaluation document. So this form allows you as attendees to provide valuable feedback, ensuring the session aligns with your needs for improving future PD sessions. Of course, this session is professional development plan presentation. You will enter your name, session objectives, evaluation. How well was it presented or meet your needs? Was it poor, fair, satisfactory, very good, or excellent? What was the relevance of the content to you? Was it not at all relevant, somewhat relevant, satisfactory, relevant, or very relevant? The effectiveness of the activities, how effective were they? They're listed from not effective to very effective. And then engagement and interaction, not just with the presenter, but among you participants as well. Not engaging, very engaging. And then open-ended questions. What aspects of this course were most useful or valuable to you? Next one is, how would you improve this course? And then lastly, how likely are you to apply what you learned in this session? All right, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good rest of the afternoon.
Yeah.